we both agree now, and your father and I secretly want him to go to school and get an education, but he doesn't need to know all about that right this second, as to say college is the way. So now the next question is, what are you doing right now in order to play college soccer? What steps are you trying to take?
Well, I don't really know yet, and that's I'm trying to figure it out, obviously.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good answer. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to be prepared.
Yeah. And in order to be prepared, one of the things that you kind of put on your list, at least on mine, is Stanford, UCLA, Oregon, Clemson, Notre Dame. These are the best colleges in the country. And to play at these colleges, for the most part, you almost all the time have to be playing at the highest levels of club soccer and arguably, debatably, with the youth national team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this idea of when should you start the process, this has nothing to do with even contacting coaches yet. We're just talking about if you want to play college soccer, you have to be the best soccer player you can be from a technical. And I know you have training. I know you've already started club soccer. But if you want to play college soccer at those schools, or frankly at any school, because if you look at the rosters now, they're 30 to 40% internationals. It's really important that you do what you have to do today. Now, the club team you're playing for, what level are they at right now? Next level soccer.
They're really high up there. Actually, there's the next level Southeast and the next level North. And I go to next level North right now. It just opened up. But next level Southeast, they actually went to MIC Cup to play against Barcelona, Real Madrid, Man U.
Yes, Mickey Cup is a big deal. Good, very good. Okay, super helpful. So it's part of a good club, which is important for you to get better at soccer. But you talked about what it is you think that you're not really sure what to do in order to play college soccer. So I guess I want to ask your father, do you know what he needs to do in order to play college soccer? Or what do you think? I don't expect you to know, but what do you think he needs to know?
Well, he needs to look at clubs that have the platforms to have that exposure, such as MLS Next, ECNL, possibly even the 64, and look at any ID camps. He recently went to ODP, the Olympic Development Program. He made the cut. However, there's another fee that we have to pay. The thing with that is that all the dates are dates that he has tournaments with his club.
Yeah. So and ODP doesn't have the same power as it used to, but it's not something we can ignore. We do have to discuss it, and you bring up a good point. Do we do that or do we not? So what I want to do is I want to show you, to your point with the ODP, I want to show you what it is we would do with your son given his age. But before I do that, I was looking up your son. You said, I asked for your highlight video and you said, how can I attach it? Is it on Instagram or where is it?
I don't have, well, you can just look at it on Instagram. I have several videos of them.
Cool. And that's what I did look at. So I saw those videos. I just wanted to make sure that there weren't any more that I could have watched. But that's perfect. Well, can I confirm what his Instagram is?
Yeah, it's Trini, Trini.
Trini.
I believe it's 2012 winger.
Yeah, I've looked at this. Okay, cool. So I got to see these videos, and your son. So when we look at somebody like your son's age, what we're debating with ourselves is what level are they at his age? And is it worth to having this discussion? And you talked already about camps and things like that. So what I want to do, I want to show you kind of like what we would do with him. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to share my screen here. Give me 1 second. Okay. Is in his case, and again, this is if he wants to play at the top levels that, we kind of think about and talk about that you guys have mentioned. So the first thing is I do quite like some video, right? Because that's how I was able to basically look at him, was I see video. But this is not a highlight video. Okay, this is just Instagram, which is good. Instagram plays a role, but he needs a highlight video specific for coaches, and for a couple different reasons. One, if you do want to send him to Mexico one day, you're going to need a highlight video. Two, talking about the other club teams, we have to send highlight videos to them, because if you go to the tryouts cold, you're asking a lot for them to just pick you. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So you want them to know who you are before. So you don't have a real highlight video. So that's problem number one. And you're a good soccer player for your age. And so when I see somebody with your Yamin Lamal composure in your sequences, I'm like, you know who Yamin Lamal is?
Yes.
Okay. When I see that, I'm immediately thinking to myself, I mean, at your age, Yamin Lamal was, with the B team. That's his scenario is insane. But that's kind of the level we want to give you. We want to put you on a schedule that's equivalent to Barcelona as best we can. So the first thing is I need a highlight video, but then I need to go over video with you. And I'm not talking about your club going over video. I'm talking about going over video just with you and just about your games. Does that make sense? Then I want to be emailing college coaches. Now, we're not going to be asking them to recruit us. We're not going to ask them to come to our games, but you're going to go to their middle school camps. And I have a list of every single middle school camp that exists. And I have an AI system basically where you say, when is the camp for so-and-so? It will give you the answer, and we go to the camp. So I have a list of every single ID camp. With that in mind, there are some of them I'm just going to tell you to go to. Based on where you live, we're going to go to local ones for the most part, but we're going to go to D1 middle school camps. And by 8th grade, I want us to, frankly, the D3 schools, I want them to be responding to your emails and looking forward to seeing you. Does that make sense? Okay. So that is then to say club soccer and ODP, and do you try out for a different club team? That's going to be a discussion we're going to have all the time. Now, you're at a good team, so I'm not saying we leave. It might even be a discussion that says we're going to stay because your club is so good, but I need to tell you guys that your club coach needs to do a better job and he needs to make some calls. We'll say it nicer than that. Or we might have to email, like one thing, we have a student right now who lives in Oregon, doesn't want to move, reasonably so, but wants to play MLS Next. And Portland Timbers is the team near them, and they haven't been responding. So we sent an email to Sacramento Republic and said, I want to come try out for your team. Sacramento Republic loved the video, said yes. We emailed Portland saying we're leaving to Sacramento, and then Portland now want the kid. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So we may send his video to every MLS Next team in the country, and they may say, we like you, we like you, we like you. And then we'd go to the local teams or the teams that are closer to us. And also, I'll just add this. Even if the teams at New York Red Bulls say, we want to have you on trial, we're going to go, every email for the rest of his middle school and early on high school, we can say, New York Red Bulls invited me for a trial. It's a really big deal. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So we can only do that with video. The next piece is we have the ID camp. So to give you an idea, this is somebody we're working with who, I'll show you this one. So this person's in 6th grade. So they're a little bit younger than you. And we're doing a same thing with them. You're going to get all these folders and documents. One of the things, the very first thing I want to do with you is I want to know everything you're doing Monday through Sunday. I played pro soccer. I know you have people in your life too, but I want to know everything. I'm not here to even help you get better technically. That is, of course, what we're going to do. But I'm here to help you go pro or play college. It's very two different things. You could be, as you said, the best player in the world, but if nobody knows who you are in America, because it's so big, nobody will know who you are. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I need to touch every part of your waking hours. So that's number one. Number two is I'm going to give you a nutrition program. I'm a certified nutritionist. So I need certain things for you to be journaling and how it makes you feel. We don't give the same thing to everybody, but I want to know, like, you had pasta before a game. Was that good or bad? Pasta with white flour is not good for long-term health, but it can be good for soccer games. So we have to measure that with you. We may even do a blood test as we get later down the line. This is exactly what Yamin Lamal was doing at his age. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we want to give you a technical program. Now, I know you're already training. I've seen it, but this is not to get better, although you will get better inevitably. This is a measurement, like if I were to measure your speed. These are skills that I do in order to go pro, and they're put in levels. And I can pretty much guarantee that if you can do level 4 in this document, then you're technically almost as good as I am, and I'm a professional, because it took me years to get to level 4. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So once you can do level 4, I know you're legit. Like Division 1 is real. Now, you still have to have a good soccer IQ, right? There are jugglers out there who can do this. Doesn't mean they're good soccer players. So then what we need to do is we want to watch all your games with you. So what we're going to do is you're going to pick a favorite player. Let's say Yamin Lamal. And we're going to watch every time he makes a forward pass, how many touches, backwards pass, how many touches. Then we're going to make one for you and go, how many touches did you take? How many touches did you go backwards? And then we're going to compare them side by side so we can help you get better at soccer. Does that make sense? Okay. So the immediate future for your son with me, given his age, is number one, highlight video. Number two, I'm going to write this out actually real quick. Okay. So number one, yeah. Okay. So number one, I'm going to share my screen here real quick. So number one is basically you're going to get a coach plus me. And this coach of yours is either a current pro soccer player who played college soccer or is about to go pro, who played college soccer. And he's going to walk you through, in your case, actually, you're going to be with a guy named Sean. He's played pro. He played college. I helped him play college. I helped him play pro. And I want you to meet with him every week. And this is not like a mentor. I know you already have a private coach. This is not the same. We need to, in your case, make a video, make a list of camps. We need to make what are called every touch videos. We need to meet every week to discuss performance and things of that nature. And we got to talk about club soccer and the MLS Next and all those things. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have the email of every single MLS Next team. So I will give you the email and I will show you what to say. We have to draft the emails and everything. You're going to message us on Discord. Discord, have you guys heard of Discord?
Yeah.
So it's just basically your son it's a way we're going to communicate. If we do this process correctly, we're going to be with your son for a pretty long time. So we need to make sure we're working together. Then we're going to edit all your videos from now on, all of them. Right now, your son at the minute, if he sends us a video, he'll have to write down the timestamps. But in about 2 weeks, we're going to have a system built that all you have to do is send me the game and it will automatically create an every touch video for him, which will be pretty cool. Then we got to do game video review like we talked about. We're also going to be doing the technical and the nutrition, which for us is important. And then you're going to need access to the Google Drive that I showed you. So with this student, they had their first meeting yesterday. So this is what the student needs to do. This is the level that we gave them to work on. And then we talked that next time we have to talk about how to fix their Instagram and make their Instagram better. And we'll do the same thing with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the grown-up part. We have a couple different models for your son's age. So the immediate one is this. I basically work with kids, majority are in high school. So it's about 30% are your age and about 70% are high school kids because typically parents come to me, I'm the college soccer guy, they think high school. And I wouldn't disagree with them. However, as I keep telling you and everyone else, I keep running into this problem that by the time they get to me, I'm basically telling them they're not going to be able to play Division I soccer. And I don't like telling them that if I don't have to. So that's why I'm talking to you. So that is basically to say how it works is this. We're with you from 7th grade until 8th grade for this amount. Okay. So 7th to 8th grade, I'll make it more clear. From 7th to 8th. Now, typically, if you want to work with me as a high schooler, is 10. Is 10. So if you start with me next year in 8th grade, this is what I would charge you, and we'd be with you for life, forever. But since you're starting with me in 7th grade, we would do 1 year like this, and if you like it, so you would get to pick, the following year, it would be this much, and then we're with you forever. So we're with you all the way until he graduates college. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So sorry, I messed that up. It'd be this much. So basically you get a $2,000 off is the premise if you start with us now.
Okay.
And I'll write that out so it's clear. I made that complicated. The other option, if you want, is if you can, let me do this better. The other option, if you want, it's up to you and your son. If you go, hey, Zev, we want to work with you. You can do this today. And then you would basically, it'd be cheaper because we get to start with you earlier and you'd get us until you graduate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. So to review, there's this option. You get us until you graduate, and we're with you. We guarantee we're with you forever. That's option 1. Option 2 is you could just book me one time every once in a while and go, Zev, we have one question, and that's how much it is to book me every once in a while. The other option, in your case, is it's 3 from now until 8th grade. Then once you hit 8th grade, we transfer you, and then it's 5. Does that make sense?
Okay.
To 8th grade, and it is. Actually, I'll change my mind. I'm going to make it better. This is 3 until 9th grade.
Okay.
So it'd be 3 until 9th grade, and then once you hit 9th grade, it's this. So then you get to pick. So let's say you do 7th and 8th grade with us, and then you're like, we don't want you anymore, Zev. Then this is all you spend, and you can leave. If you go, no, we want to do the college part now, then you'd get the discount.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I want to change one other thing. Actually, if you started with us in 9th, it would be this. So it'd be cheaper, actually. Anyways, the reason I bring this up is right now for your son, you guys might not be ready to commit to me for the next 7 years of your life or 10 years of your life. Maybe you are. If you're ready, I'm ready. If you're not ready, then I'd rather you pick this option where you commit to me for 8th and 9th grade. And then after that, we discuss what to do next. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now, I can see it on your father's face and your guys' face. You know, this is an investment. You have to decide if it's worth it. That's kind of the job here. One of the things I mentioned at the beginning of the call is by the end of the call, we need to know if we're going to work together. So the question I have for your father is, let me just start with, is this the type of help that you think your son wants?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And then I'll ask your son, is this the type of help, we're talking about video and nutrition and techno, is that the type of help you want?
Yeah, it really is.
Okay. So then the question for your father is, let's say you had to work with me today. I'm not going to let you. I want you to go think about it with your family for a day, but I will only be able to give you a day. But but you're not allowed to work with me today, even if you wanted to. So my question though is, if you had to work with me today, are there any questions that come up that you can think of?
Well, I watched your video, and it was pretty clear at that point to me, I guess. You did cover several points, now including nutrition, video, and I guess my question would be, because you mentioned that we would look at improving his technical and basically his skills, right? How would that happen?
So everything we do is online. So we're going to give him video exercises to do, and they're all timed. So basically we'll say, if you don't meet this time, you can't go to level 2. You don't meet this time, you can't go to level 3. And as I mentioned, technical part, while I am concerned about it, you have a private coach. So you guys are getting training done. My concern is I have the scores I'm giving you. I have the exact scores of what college kids and pro kids get. So we can eventually say to a college coach, I did this exercise and got this time. And the coach will go, that's a good time. I don't know if you're good. I need to see you. But now I can measure him non-biasedly. Does that make sense? Without any subjectivity. I can say if he can do 50s, which he'll see, I know every college soccer player can do 50s under 2 minutes. If he can't do it under 2 minutes, then I already know that he needs to work on that. Now, if he can do it under 2 minutes, it doesn't make him a college soccer player. It just is the bare minimum.
Right.
Like, what's your juggling record right now, Jonathan?
I'm at 294.
Amazing. Once he hits 500, you can juggle to 10,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you a good soccer player. What I need to know is, can he juggle while he's moving? Can he look over his shoulder while he's juggling? Which is kind of what my exercises do as he gets better. And then the most important thing is, to your point about the technical, you guys, my job is an addition. That's a bonus. As you saw, I didn't mention it in the video because it's not the focus. My focus is your son's soccer IQ. I need to watch video. And more than that is I need coaches to know who he is. So I want him going to ID camps, and I want him going to club tryouts, even like Barca Academy, which I know you guys know because it's in the state. He should go. We want him getting an invitation. Even if you're not going to move, even if you don't want to go, you got to email them, because their record for turning out pro soccer players or college is really good. And right now, every kid wants to play there from all over. Look, the other person I showed you who's in 6th grade, they're from New York. That's who you're competing with. You're not competing with your teammates. You're competing with international kids who all want to play at Notre Dame.
Right.
Yeah. Good questions. Good questions. So here's the last thing. I have to go. I have to go talk to another student. I made this complicated because I wanted to make it clearer, but I did a bad job. So I wanted to be clear just one more time. You want to work with me forever? This is the contract. You'll see it, and we're good. We'll work together forever. It's split up into 6 payments. If any time during the 6 months you're not happy, then you can just tell me and we'll go our separate ways. If you don't want to do those and you want to book me once in a while, which I do not recommend for you because I can't work on your nutrition or I can't do anything consistently. And then this model, which is the one I recommend for you, it is cheaper, and it allows us to decide if your son continues to love soccer in a more manageable way, is we're with you for 2 years. And then once we hit the 3rd year, if you want to keep going with us, it's that.
Okay.
Cool. Very good, everybody. If you have other questions or you have anything else you want to ask me, let me know. Just email me back. The only thing, as I mentioned, is I have to know by tomorrow. So I'll just add, let's say you do because it's split up into payments. If you do the payment, we have our first meeting and you're unhappy, I'll give you it back and we'll be done. If you love it, then we'll keep rocking and rolling. But if you don't make the first payment and we don't get started, then I have to give it to somebody else who wants to get started.
Right, of course.
Okay. All right. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed meeting you too. I want to say that's your son. Your attitude, you're mature, like the way you interacted with me is something I really like. So let me ask you one last question. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with me? I don't work with very many kids. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with me?
I really think that, I do really think that I'm mature, and I do think I can handle a lot of weight on my shoulders, and I can put in work. I'm willing to make a lot of sacrifices. This is my dream.
I like to hear that. For your father, why do you think your son's a good candidate to work with us?
Oh, he has a great attitude. He has a great work ethic. He's very respectful, and just in the beginning of the season, the tryout season, he was invited to every team he tried out for, including there was 2 MLS Next teams that wanted him, RSL and Phoenix Rising. However, we turned those down because we did see an opportunity to improve his skills with next level soccer for the reasons that he just mentioned earlier, that they do compete in a high level. Like with the tournaments that they've gone to, they have their methodology, in my opinion, is one of the best here locally. And all their teams are either number 1 or number 2 in the state. So their program works. So that's one of the reasons why we looked out for that instead of the MLS Next title at this point.
Yeah. And that's exactly why when we're talking to you there at this point, you make a very key point there. And we're not going to, we'll have a discussion. That's our job to go, hey, now it's time for college coaches. We did the development phase. Do we need to leave? Should we stay? What if you don't like the other coach? Right now, I don't. Like if you said to me, what should we do? I don't know the answer. We need to talk about it. It also will change every year. Like you talked about ODP. My immediate answer is ODP is not as good in this world as it used to be. On this flip side, maybe there's a time in a year from now where I go, ODP has changed. We got to go. You were invited. And also, here's the beauty. With video, we can basically the whole point is so you play college and maybe pro. So video can really make you travel the whole world or travel the whole country. So that's that. And if we want to, like Phoenix Rising, I played in the USL. So I played against Phoenix Rising many times, and they have a great organization. But, their job is in some ways to produce talent to go pro. They don't care about college. So that's its own issue. So that's our job. Our job is to figure that out along with you along this entire process. For all of our high school kids, we don't get to talk about it as often because they're so busy. But for the middle school kids, we're talking about which club, which camps. And here's the last thing I'll leave you with is all I want is the college coaches to know that you decided to stay where you are because your team's the best in the state. The teams in New York have never heard of your team. The teams in the West Coast and California barely know who you are compared to Phoenix Rising. That's just the truth. So we need them to know, hey, we went to MIC. That's a huge deal. Hey, I'm going to MIC next year. Now they're like, oh, what club is this? Who's this kid? Why am I hearing about him now? And that's what we want for your son.
Exactly. They also competed in EDC.
Yep. Very good.
Over in New York. I believe it's in New York.
Yep. Very good. Very good.
They compete well over there too. So,
and I want video of all of that so we can send it to the coaches too, for sure. For
definitely.
sure. Yeah. Very good, guys. It was a pleasure talking to you all. I'll talk to you all very soon. If you have any questions, just let me know, and we'll go from there.
Sounds great. Appreciate it. Thank you a lot.
Thank
See
you.
you guys. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you for listening. So that was a 7th grader, everybody. So if you think you're starting the process on time and you're in high school, you're out of your mind. You want to play at the top schools, this is what it takes. You got to be treated like a pro. And it's really important that we do that. Yeah. What should or could I do to increase my chance of playing ECNL? I'm trying out for ECNL team. Ooh, I send your video before you go. Hey, Aries, what's up, Aries? I got to follow you. Aries, I just followed you. Search up Grand Island Senior High School. I took them to state. State is very cool. Did any of your kids play college soccer, Manny? How can I get in Penn State? You got to start in 8th grade, got to go to their camps, got to go to MLS Next, and then you could play potentially at Penn State. And you have to be good, obviously. Can you react to my video? It's in the Discord. Eli. Yeah, I can. Let me get a drink of water, and I'll open up the Discord for you guys. Okay. What is this? Do you want me to no matter what I know? Okay. Let's see. I'm from, when should I start if I want to play at U Tampa? Kate, are you a girl? Go follow Kate, our page called College Soccer Gals, because that page is just for girls. And the answer is you want to start in 8th, 9th grade. For girls, it's really, we were working. So I had a girl call me. She's a senior. And, you know, she's not going to be able to play Division I. She's really good. I even think she's Division I level, but she will not play Division I because she started with us as a senior. That does not work. How does male versus female path differ? Good question. So Chris Valentine, we have a page dedicated for girls only. It's called College Soccer Gals. And I run the page, but there are some girls directed by me who are on video because you should talk to girls, of course. And the answer is it's actually the exact same, just replace MLS Next with ECNL. Everything's the same, but instead of you need to play MLS Next, you have to play ECNL for the most part. Do you have any recommendations for sending out in academy tryouts? Remember, help with all the gear, and yeah, help with all the gear. That's super important. I'm playing. Okay, I'm in a money bot. Which one MLS Next team better? MLS Next. I'm in a money bot. Which one is best? ECNL or MLS Next? MLS Next is typically better, but it can vary by club. Do scouts come to high school games? No. Chris Valentine, you're welcome. Did I answer your other question? Who was that? Kate, did I answer your question? Kate, if you can I message you? No. Kate, if you can, go follow College Soccer Gals. I think you'll really like their page because it's more about what girls need to do. And it's awesome. Okay. Aries, did you message me? Aries, if you have a question, message me on Discord. You should pin the Discord invite link to the lives if you can. Ooh, can I do that? Thank you, Aries. Aries, I love you. Let me see if I can do that. I think I can only do that on Instagram. Can I pin a comment? Click link in bio. I can't seem to pin it. So I can't pin it. Subscribe series. Okay. So I'm not able to do it on TikTok, but I don't know if now TikTok doesn't work, but I can do it on Instagram. I'll do it on Instagram right now. I think I'm live on Instagram. Aren't I live? Am I not live on Instagram? Can you take My brother just got accepted to LA Galaxy ODP and tryout. He's 10. Is this a good opportunity for him to go to the academy, or is it just money grab? It's probably a good opportunity, Discover, but I would need to know more. You'd have to call me for me to know. How late is it for a goal to go D1? I'm a junior. It is not too late for D1, Alec, but you need to be playing at a high level. So let me know what level you're playing or send me your video. Okay, hold on. I'm going to give you guys the Discord link. Wait. Give me 2 seconds. When you guys go to the Discord, you're going to see a guy in there named Aries. Aries will create a channel for you. So then my coaches and I can look at your stuff. So I'm going to go click link in bio for the Discord channel. And to call me, click link in bio actually, for help for free. And then what happened to my message? Here. And then I want to pin it. Here we go. Pin comment. Okay, I pinned the comment just like Aries said. And then I'm going to go open up the Discord. One second, everybody. Okay, links. Okay, the Discord is open, so you guys can join it right now. So the Discord is open. You can send in your videos. I'm on the channel right now on my computer, and I'm looking in the highlight video section, and somebody submitted their video today at 3:23. Their name is Eli. Okay, I'm going to look at this kid's video. Unfortunately, I can only, you guys won't be able to see the video because if you're on TikTok, I get yelled at by Instagram and TikTok, but you might be able to see it a little bit right there, maybe. Okay, you might be able to see it a tiny bit. If you're on Instagram, can you see this? Instagram, you might be able to see it in a second. Okay, Eli, I'm looking at your video right now. I got a self-interview, which I love. I want to hear it. Hold on. Okay, so this is good, but I need your info here. The coaches just want to hear you talk for like 5 to 10 seconds, and then they want to watch you play. So this is too long. 30 seconds, and we still have soccer. You can't wait that long. I do want the self-interview, but you can't wait 30 seconds. That does not work. So we got to fix that. But now I get this. So this and the self-interview should happen at the same time, and that's it. Grad year 27, 2029, Seattle. What position are you? You're a center defensive midfielder. Okay, cool. Oh, good feet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Left foot Verratti? Wow. Big fan. Big fan. Big fan. I'm a big fan. This is good. This is already good. That's a good clip. And you're 2027? Freaking call me, dude. What a good left foot. Can you please call me? At Eli. Please call me. That was very good. Very, very good. Good video. You guys have a video like that? I want to talk to you. That was a very good video. That left foot, Verratti left-footed, dude. Very good. Very, very good. I'm going to give you a link so you can call me. A custom link. A custom link. Copy link. Okay, that was very good. Please call me. All right, so if you guys want and you're on Discord, you can send it to me. How many days a week do you recommend 10-year-olds to play soccer? Discover, they should be playing for fun, 5 days a week for fun. 5 days a week, I would say, but split it up. I am fast striker with a good header and a finish, but my technique is average. How good does it have to be for college soccer? I'm a sophomore. It has to be very good, but I would need to see video to know more. You're playing NAL, Alec. I was hurt all season. I feel like I have talent, but I was out. Alec, give me a call. Call me. Call me. Okay, let's see here. Where was I? I was on Instagram. Where's my Instagram? Okay, this should work better, but there we go. Okay, maybe that'll work better for Instagram. All right, so then let's see here. When does she need to aim for ECNL exposure to get college scouts? She's 12 now, Jefferson. She needs to do it now. Now. By 14, you got to be playing ECNL pretty much. I have a call, guys, in 3 minutes, so I won't be able to review all your stuff. Yeah, right now. Okay. All right. Great video. That was a really good video. Okay. If you're going pro in Brazil, I cannot help you. I can only do college soccer. You can send your indoor highlights, Manny. Hey, Eduardo Mateo. Aries, book a call. Oh, good try. Aries, just tell them to click the link in the bio, but good try. Aries, I want you on all my lives. I want you to be my admin. I'm going to make you my admin right now. You're my moderator. You are now my moderator, and you can literally manage guests. You can do everything. You've been moved into moderator mode, Mr. Aries. I will set up a call. Anything I need for the call. I'm currently working in highlights reels, but I only have 6 games due to my injury. Alec, I do need your video. That's it. I want to go D1, and I want to try to join MLS Next team. I am in 7th grade and live in Tennessee. Christopher, book a call with me when you can. Book a call when you can. Okay, Instagram. Let's see here. A couple of questions. As a freshman, how many ID camps should I attend? 3 to 4, but it could be less. I need to see video for me to know for sure. I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. Hello, Bomba. Hello, Honey. Is that Honeycut? Oh, Honeycut. Spell it. What? Spell it. Hello. Spell it. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Right now, between YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, we have 70 people listening to me right now. Isn't that crazy? Aries, did you already mute somebody? Good job. Be careful, TikTok. If Aries doesn't like you, then so don't ask questions. You can ask questions multiple times, but if you're talking about pro soccer, I can't help you. Only college. I got a feeling next call, be the next Cristiano. Oh, Manny, you think the next call is going to be Cristiano? That could be. How long do calls last? Christopher, I'm about to get on a call right now. Listen in, and you can decide. They usually are 15 minutes. 15, I usually stay longer, usually like 25. He was a hater. Oh, Aries, I like that. No haters. If they're a hater, actually, I like addressing the haters, so you can do that. I just made you, there you go, okay. Can I get a shout out? Funny Vids. Go follow funny.vids too. My bro's name is Manuel Alfrez from Nebraska. He's a transgender. Okay, that's being annoying here. Trolling. Okay, why do you keep saying 13 to 14-year-olds need to start now? Power 5 schools are looking at 25 kids. It's never too late, but it gets harder as you get older, but not impossible. But it gets harder as you get older, and I want to make it easier. And if they know who you are younger, you'll have a better chance. And you're correct. Only the good 13 and 14-year-olds should listen to me. If you're not good, then you're not ready to get started. And I can tell you right now, the top 5 are done with their 25s. They are absolutely done. They've been done for a long time, except for the rare international or the one kid, but they are done. Okay, Nate Palermo.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Nate Palermo is not here. So let's see if I can call him, see what his deal is. Oh, I think he rescheduled. Nate, did you rebook for Friday? This is the college soccer guy. I think they did. I think he rebooked for Friday. Okay. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna go listen in to one of my other coaches who is in a meeting right now.
Get started, how many phone calls have you had with college coaches and how many visits have you been on?
None.
Got it.
Well,
You did an ID camp at
I did an ID camp at Tennessee, and they kind of just walked us around, but I mean, not really much.
Got it. Okay, understood. And so what do you believe you need the most help with in the recruiting process?
I think like contacting coaches and knowing like what to say, what to ask, stuff like that.
Got it. And then same question for your father. What do you believe she needs the most help with?
I would say recommendation on, like, she's got a lot of content. I video all of her games and she's got a lot of great highlights. So kind of putting that together, and then what's the best way, who to target? Like, cause there's a ton of schools out there, where to start. Is it better to Instagram, the highlight videos? Do you do emails? If you are going to use Instagram, do you use the college teams account, or do you find the individual coach's page? Just some of those questions about like videos and contact, and are they even allowed to respond right now? She's a freshman.
Got it. Understood. Very well said. And then Ava, straying away from the recruiting process a little bit, why do you want to play college soccer?
Because I just like have played it all my life, and I really want to continue to do that.
Got it. And then same question for your father. Why do you want to see Ava play college soccer?
Well, as of now, it seems like it's what she wants to do. So
got it. Yeah.
She's got a passion for it and excelling. And so, she wants to continue to play. I'd like for her to be able to do that.
For sure. And so before I kind of get into Zev and I's diagnosis of what we've seen from what you've submitted so far, can you guys both agree that academics do come first in terms of finding a school and going through the college recruiting process?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. So to kind of get into what me and Zev saw from everything you've submitted so far, we kind of like to look at things from two perspectives. The first being the level we believe you can play. And to answer that right away, I think you can play Division I soccer. I think the goals you scored were insane. We loved the long shots, everything like that. You scored literally, I think it was literally like 5 consecutive just long shots in a row. And you were taking people on, which is great. So definitely great ball skill there for sure. Kind of the second thing, though, would definitely be the recruitability. And I think with the video you submitted, especially with it living on Instagram and not YouTube, any other platform where you can send it to college coaches, I think that's a big issue for your recruitment. So with that, we don't think you're recruiting-wise at the standard of that level. Does that make sense? And Zev loves to use this analogy often. It's players are like boats, right? You're a great boat, you're a great player, but you have holes, and those holes are the recruiting process. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Got it. So with that kind of being said, is it okay if I share my screen and sort of go through the process that Zev personally took me through when I went through the recruiting process and what we take all of our high school students through?
Yes.
Wonderful. So yeah, let me pull that up for you right now.
Where did you play?
Yeah, so in high school, I played Chicago Inter ECNL, and then in college, I played Tiffin University, which is one of the top D2s in the country.
Okay. Are you familiar with Queens University in Charlotte?
Yes, that was one of the schools I was in heavy contact with. They invited me to their camp, and they came to some of my showcases.
Yeah. A bunch of the guys that I grew up playing with and ended up playing there were all Americans there. I was the only one from our club team that didn't play, but I would have gone there.
Got it. Yeah, that was back when they were D2, correct? I believe they're D1 now.
Yeah, that's right.
Wonderful.
They were struggling a little bit when they first moved from the D2 to the D1. We had 2 players there, one on the girls' side and one on the boys' side, and it was a rough start when they first started.
Got it. Yeah. So can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So kind of the first step in terms of the recruiting process in general is we would definitely overhaul your video. You had a lot of great clips, all of which would make for a great highlight video, but you don't actually have a standalone highlight video that you can send out yet. So we would get all those clips from you and kind of bring them together to create an effective highlight reel. And have you seen some of Zev's content on his self-interview?
Not really.
Got it. So essentially what that is you know how you have those title cards that have all of your information, kind of things that are necessary for the recruiting process. Coaches hate to wait 15 seconds to read that entire thing. So instead we would basically have you read it. And that not only allows you to save time in your highlight video and for them to see the soccer earlier in the video, but it also allows them to see your face and kind of get a genuine look at you. So when you do go to their ID camp, they're genuinely recruiting you and they know who to look for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's kind of the biggest thing that we didn't see in your highlight video that we would have you do, as well as just overall improving the player highlighting. You didn't really have circles on yourself. It's kind of obvious that you're the one scoring because they're all long shots, but we still want to highlight you. And then for your clips where you're taking players on, it's very important to know that you're the one attacking, not defending. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. So once we kind of fix that video, we have a team of editors that would get everything back to you within 2 to 3 days, both that initial highlight reel as well as every touch videos. We would kind of move into the email process. So did you guys get a chance to see that email AI in that video we sent before this?
Yes.
Wonderful. So to kind of show you a bit more personally to your case, essentially, yeah, you can see here, it's every single girls' school in the country that has women's soccer. So you'd be able to email them all through this app. So give me an example. Do you have an idea of a major you want, a part of the country you want to play in?
Not really.
Yeah, no problem.
Like the SEC.
Got it. Yeah.
Southeast.
Wonderful. Perfect. So you would be able to filter it to Southeast, and now you can email every single school in this region. So you'd be able to select them all and write a genuine email to them that's linked to your email, but to all of them at once. So to kind of show you that here, this AI has every single template you would ever need in the recruiting process. So everything ranging from that first initial email here, like your mass email, all the way until you're telling them you want to commit to their school. Does that make sense? And so, yeah, here you can see every single school is selected, and we would work with you to kind of use this AI in order to send emails to all the schools on your list. Does that make sense?
Yes.
One thing, Rob, will you also just show them, go back to the template for a second and just show them, this is a template, but we don't do templated things, right? Your daughter has a different situation to every kid. But there is a couple things that are true. She needs to say her club year, her grad year, her GPA. So we wanted to get used to that. But go to a blank document, Rob, just for a second, and delete that. And then just show her the main thing that's particularly special is if you do Dear Coach and then do coach's name and then hit preview. What the reason this is important for us is when you get an email from an ID camp, it usually says your name in it, right? Mm-hmm. Which makes you kind of feel like maybe it's to you. Well, we want to do, get rid of the template. Get rid of the template for a second, Rob. Just leave it blank. Or just delete it like you were doing. Is just to type in Dear hashtag, no template. Yeah, just delete the template. And just type in Dear hashtag coach's name. And then hit preview. And then when you hit preview, basically, you got to go back a step. You send 100 emails a day. Go back one step, Rob. It will work. And then hit, see, it says clear section. There you go. No, hold on. Go back again. Hit clear section. There you go. Then hit select all.
Just select one.
There you go.
Or select all.
Yeah. You can only send 100 a day. The reason is Gmail doesn't like when you send more than that. Then you go Dear hashtag coach's name. And then if you hit preview, it will automatically put in the coach's name for you. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. And now it's really important for us. We want to say something genuine. So in each email as well, we're going to help you find something genuine to say. And that can take a while, but we want to help you do that because the more genuine you can make it, the better responses. And given your age, one of the things your father mentioned is like, can they even respond to you? On paper, the answer is no. But I can just tell you right now, we have another girl who's a sophomore. We've been doing this since she was a freshman, and she just got invited on an official visit to a D2 school, which is completely illegal. But girls soccer is not being monitored by the NCAA, like basketball or football. So they don't really care. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So we want your daughter, in her case, we want them emailing the D3s and getting lots of genuine responses because they can email us. But we also want her emailing the D1s now. So when June 15th hits, they've already seen maybe 10 videos of her. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because one thing we'll show you, we have a new page on TikTok we just started called College Soccer Gals. It's just for girls. And one of the things that I do is I bring on college coaches that are women, and I bring on TikTok or college soccer girls. And what they all will tell you, which is true for boys, is the coaches already know who they want to look at the camps. If you go cold, you're screwed for the most part. Unless you're like you, unless you score 1 million goals, that does help you. But typically you want to know before you get there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
For your father too, does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, sorry, Rob, keep going.
Yeah, so that's essentially the AI. And so after we kind of do that first email process, we would work with you to pick the camps off of that initial interest. So we would help read your emails and see who is giving you genuine interest and which camps to go to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then, yeah, from there, you would work with your coach in order to look at the responses to that and keep emailing. We would audit your emails and see everything that's coming through. And then from there, help work with you to narrow down your list of schools that you like based on who's interested in you and ultimately help you decide on a school. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. Yeah. So Ava, would you say this is kind of the type of help you're looking for?
Yes.
Wonderful. Same question for your father. This is kind of the type of help you're looking for?
Yeah, I definitely think it'd be helpful.
Wonderful. Perfect. So kind of my last question today, and honestly, the most important one to me and Zev. Ava, why do you think you would be a good fit to work in our program?
I think that I can play at a high level of soccer, and I think that you guys can help me do that.
Perfect.
Get
noticed.
Wonderful. Very well said. And then same question for your father. Why do you believe Ava would be a good fit to work in our program?
Yeah, I would say it's about like the direction and help for exposure. You know, this is your all's expertise, and you know, kind of what she needs to potentially get noticed.
Wonderful. Very well said. And so with that, is it okay if I sort of share my screen and show you a bit more in detail what it looks like to be in our program and sort of the next steps to move forward?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So yeah, kind of going over it here, essentially when working in our program, the biggest thing would be she would get unlimited one-on-one meetings with a coach. So in this case, she would get a female college soccer player currently who would help her and guide her through the process one-on-one. So it would be very similar to this Zoom call. She would get a link to something called Calendly, where she can book one-on-one calls with them whenever she wants that her coach is available. So with that, in my personal experience when working with students, it would consist of that first big call, around 30, 45 minutes, where we send that mass email. And then from there, weekly to bi-weekly kind of check-ins, going over the responses to that email, engaging the interest and reply. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. And then from there too, you would also receive access to our Discord. It's essentially a way of communicating with your coach via text as well, 24/7. So you would be able to, and from my experience working with students, send screenshots of emails. We would help you respond, as well as, say, in my personal case, I had a phone call with the University of Illinois, Chicago, didn't know what to say. I put it in my chat, in my Discord, and my coach got back to me with exactly what to say. And so I was able to kind of ace that call and get an offer from them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful. And so then from there too, like I mentioned earlier, we would edit all of your video. You wouldn't have to edit anything ever again. You would just submit it through a Google form in your document, and we would take care of all your video. And like I said, that would be your initial highlight reel, as well as every touch update for the rest of the recruiting process. For me personally, I submitted literally 7-8 game videos. And so Zev and the team of editors, they're able to get everything back to me, and I was able to update schools very consistently. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
What type of video do you need in order to use it? Does it need to be like a trace, or can it be from an iPhone? What kind of quality video are you looking for?
Yeah, so the better the quality of the video, the better, obviously. But literally any type of clip you can send in, we would take, as well as you can even send your full games via trace, via VO, via huddle. And as long as you put timestamps and submit it into the form, the editors will go through that full game, find the clips of her touching the ball that you timestamp and make clips that way and kind of edit the entire video from there. Does that make sense?
I'll just add too,
Yeah.
because we saw her Instagram, there will come a time where we'll be like, we want iPhone footage only because it's nice and close up on the field. Then there'll be other times where we'll say, no, we need the bird's eye view. So we do need a Trace or VO. We're sponsored by Trace. So like we have a relationship with them. Do you guys have Trace or VO?
Or for club, we have Trace. For high school, we have Huddle.
Yeah, we're good with both of those. But to your father's point, if you're recording on the sidelines, we do also want that because it is nice as an additional video for sure.
Okay.
Wonderful. Yeah. And so then kind of moving along from that as well, she would also have access to her own personal document. And so to give you an example of a student I'm working with, this student committed to Indiana, essentially you can see here every time I meet with him, I sort of give him the notes on what he needs to do for the week in terms of the recruiting process, as well as I make a little video tutorial kind of walking him through everything as well so he can refer to it later on. And I also kind of like to refer to this document as the College Soccer Recruiting Bible. You can see here it has the entire process laid out chapter by chapter with video tutorials from Zev as well. So if you're in a pinch and you need to see how something's broken down, you can access it right here too. And it has everything from literally getting started, optimizing your email for recruiting, all the way until committing to a school. Because believe it or not, there is a very specific process on how to commit to a school and get all the paperwork done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Is that mom behind you too, or sister?
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
cool.
mom.
Hi, mom. While we have you too, because we don't always get the whole family, we are biased. We like your daughter. Rob has kind of mentioned the words like our program and everything, but we want it to be very clear that I will be monitoring everything. She'll be working with a girl coach in her scenario, but you'll be hearing from me. You'll be getting text messages from me. As we've shown you this, do you think this is what your daughter needs help with?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, cool. And if there's something is there anything as you see this where you're like, oh, that's specifically what I think she would really like, or you have a question that comes to mind?
I don't have anything. I think just the guidance and, just the whole process, step by step guidance is perfect.
Cool. Okay, Rob, tell him the stuff that's supposed to scare him away for real.
So essentially the way the payment structure works when working with our program, it's essentially $5,000 and that's for life. And to kind of break that down into my personal circumstance, I essentially started with Zev my sophomore year and I worked with him all the way through the recruiting process. And then now I'm playing in college and he's also helping me transfer as well as play pro. So that's kind of what we say with For Life. He's helped me receive trials in Finland and get domestic interest as well. And he's also helping me transfer D1 currently. So we would work with her all the way through the initial recruiting process as well as beyond. And for me, the thing that gave me and my family the biggest peace of mind when working with Zev was, if you're not being genuinely recruited in 3 months, we will fire ourselves and give you a full refund, because we firmly believe that Ava is the level to play college soccer. That's why we accepted this call in the first place. And so if we're not able to get her that genuine recruitment within 3 months, then we will fire ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
And kind of a statistic that we found recently after going through our 2024 class is 98% of our students have received a minimum of $60,000 in scholarship from the school they committed to. And for top academic in D1, they've received up to $250,000 in scholarship. And so to kind of break it down in my personal instance, I had a 3.5 and I still received $80,000 of athletic and academic scholarship. So for Ava, I would expect even higher. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Wonderful.
I guess a couple questions that I'd have on my end. I guess I can let you finish first, though.
No, yeah, I was just going to say we have here as well a spreadsheet that goes over every single person we've ever committed kind of over the past 4 years. So this will be included in your email. You can refer to that. But continue with what you were saying.
Well, that's kind of along the same lines as what I was asking. How long have you guys been doing this? I've been following Zev now for a few months. And so just kind of curious how long you guys have been doing this. What type of success? Has it been mainly girls, mainly boys, both? And kind of like rough estimate of how many players you guys have worked with and maybe are currently working with.
Got it. Yeah. So to answer your question, essentially the way we've had it set up where it's this program has been since 2022. And to say the sort of split between boys and girls, I would say it's 60-40, 60% boys, 40% girls. And in 2024, we committed around 92 students, I believe. Yep. And then kind of 2025 is still being updated. Me personally, I've committed 3 students recently, so they will be added to this list. I believe we're going to be at 17. And then, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like. I'd say 60-40 between boys and girls.
And one thing just to add to that, I'm a boy. So when I post, naturally, I attract males to my page. But the girls, we have more girls who have committed to Division I given the ratio than boys. We lost you. Did I see you? Did we lose them? Their phone might have died. Rob, really good job. I just came for fun, and I messed you up a little bit, so that's my fault. You did great. Couple quick tips. Talk a little slower. You can tell my tone of voice. I'll pause and be like, we're here for, a little bit of that. And then also when you're talking to a potential student or client, if that is the mom, we want her opinion to hear what she has to say to us.
Sure.
All good. And then the last thing is, you want to make it feel genuine. You say like, you use the word like in our program, that we're not a program. We help individuals just like when I helped you. We're here for the kids personally. So you want to use more of the words like when you work with us, when you're working when you have our calls with us, try and avoid the words like program and our system, because it's different for every kid.
Yeah.
But excellent. And the way you use your anecdotes for yourself are incredible, like incredible. It's true. And you do a great job at it, Rob. So I don't know what happened to them. If you want.
Yeah, they're in the waiting room. Should I let them back in?
Let them in.
Sorry about that. I had a call come in and I tried to send it to voicemail and it ended the call.
All good.
Yeah, no, all good. So
I think I was just saying that naturally I attract boys, but because of it, and Rob we can pull it up in a second, Rob, I'll do it, is we do have more girls who have played D1 than boys, only because if you're watching my videos and you have a daughter, your daughter who's willing to watch my videos tends to be more committed than the average girl. But yeah, we definitely have more boys. One of the things that we are doing, because I think it should be equal, is if you go visit CollegeSoccerGuy, it's our other TikTok, Instagram page just for girls.
Okay.
And we have somebody now who's in charge. Like I'm in charge of everything because it's my system. But we have like your daughter's going to work with a girl coach who played Division I soccer and is getting her master's degree at Boston. So like I want her to obviously have that impact, but those same girls are like Rob. They shadowed me and worked with me for a number of years before I'll let them talk to anybody. Because one of the things that I've been learning the hard way is I've had some college coaches say to me, hey, Zev, can we work with you? Like, and help your kids? And I'll be like, maybe. So I'll have them shadow me, and they don't put in the level of effort that is required. And it's not their fault. Typically, college coaches are so used to just being begged for attention. They don't really remember what it's like to be you with a daughter who's not getting paid attention to. Because your daughter will get ignored, even if she's so good. So our job is basically to go, we know what that's like. Here's what you need to do. Here are the questions you need to ask. My job is to think of the problems before even the college coaches can think of it. So like every touch videos, coaches would just tell you, we want more video. What they really meant was they don't want any more highlight videos. They want a full game video, but they won't watch a full game video. So then I have to do an every touch video. And that's what I had to do to go pro. So on and so forth. But that's a good question. And I think your other question was success rate wise, and how many we work with. Success rate wise, we're at 98%. We do have a couple kids who decide they don't want to play college soccer anymore, right? They do the process with us and they quit, which is exactly why Rob is doing this call with you first, not me. Is one, I am busy. I got off my other call, so I wanted to say hi, but I'm busy working with my kids. But also, if Rob doesn't think you're motivated enough because he went through my process, then I don't want you to work with us. So he's kind of vetting you to be like, are you passionate? Are your parents on board? Because he had to go through it himself. And I'm biased. You hear me talk about it, you'll just think I'm biased. Basically, he's the one that asked me if he could take these calls to be like, hey, I want to help because I helped him, which is very special, of course. And then finally, terms of the number of kids, your daughter will work with one coach who will have about 4 other kids. We work with about 30 kids in total. Sometimes more, sometimes less. It doesn't get more really than that. It just depends. Like Rob mentioned, we had 3 kids commit, so now we have space. If a kid decides to take a gap year, then we won't take on as many kids because now they're going to stay with us longer.
Do you guys have many connections on the women's side that at maybe different levels to where, hey, they know who you are and they respect your advice and that sort of thing?
Good question. The answer is 2 things. One, the short answer is yes. My former coach is the coach of Florida, which is the best women's program there is. The UCLA coach plays on my men's soccer team with me. So I see him every weekend. I live in Westwood, but I just want to be very clear. We will never connect your daughter directly to a coach. It is against NCAA rules. So we will never call a coach and say, this girl scores bangers, you should sign her. We're just not allowed because it would put her at risk of being ineligible. What the coaches will tell you is they will be like, wow, this was a really good every touch video. This was a really good written email. It's probably because of some expert, and typically it's me. Now, if it's not me, we don't want the credit. So I don't want them to go, we only want to talk to you if it's Zev, because what if I have a bad relationship with a coach, or what if I die tomorrow? I want your daughter to get recruited with or without us officially. But to answer your question, the main issue is I can't directly connect you with anybody because it's against the rules. So my workaround is Flores calls me and says, we're looking for so-and-so. I tell your coach they're looking for so-and-so. Have your student email them and say exactly these words. And that's kind of how I do my workaround.
Okay.
Yeah, good question.
Very good.
Yeah. The last thing, and Rob will kind of reiterate this, we're going to send over an email regarding the next steps. You'll see a contract, and the contract basically says this: if you don't come to our meetings, Ms. Ava, we will fire you, and you will not be able to work with us. If you do not give us video within 3 months, which is, you already have video, so I'm not really worried about it, but if you don't, we will also fire you. If your grades drop below a 3.5, we will also fire you. And if in 3 months from now, you're not genuinely talking to Division III schools that you actually want to attend one day, I can't say Division I because of the rules, but we can discuss that later, then you will fire us. We expect results in 3 months.
Yes.
Sound good? The last thing I'll just say is, let's say your first meeting, it's split up into 3 payments. So let's say you make your first payment, you have your first meeting, and you hate us or you hate the coach. If that's truly the case, which has not happened, but if you're truly unhappy, then we can go our separate ways there. We can refund it, and we can go either way. The goal here is we want your daughter to play college soccer. We want all of our attention there.
Makes sense.
Very good. Rob, will you just you mentioned the email. He'll send over the email. Anything else, Rob, that you want to try and scare them away with?
No, yeah. So you kind of mentioned it. We will send over the email that has the sign-up form. And with that, we do ask that you respond to us within roughly 24 hours. If you do need more time, just let me and Zev know. But yes, roughly within 24 hours, as we do work with a limited amount of students. So if you do need more time, we can always hold your spot. But yeah.
Okay. Sounds fair.
Out of curiosity, just since we have you here, and then we'll let you go, are you guys leaning towards yes, maybe, no? I'll ask mom and dad first.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the value, given how much it costs to go to college, we're able to get more on a scholarship or some good guidance. I mean, in the long run, it, would maybe make sense.
Cool. Mom, any thoughts?
Mom?
I agree with what he said.
Okay, cool. Awesome, guys. Well, we look forward to hearing from you in 24 hours. We'll follow up, but we want to work with the people who are excited. And if you have any questions, just email Rob. I'm copied on all the emails. So Rob, if you have any questions, you can email us back and we'll get back to you.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Take care, guys.
All right. You too.
Rob, excellent job. Is a small thing. Hide your necklace in the future. It's minimal. It just makes you look young. That one is very good. You did perfect. So that's all yours. I won't, you get full credit. I screwed you up. I only was coming because I wanted to see you in action. But you did great. Your screen is blurred behind you. Everything is great. The only thing I want to give you the tip is you're so good at answering the questions. Like when you say, like, why do you think you're a good fit to work with us? I want you to like pretend, like not pretend, but be like, Ava, this is really hard. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with us? I want that level of emotion.
Okay.
Because then otherwise they're like, this kid's reading a script, and they're not reading a script, and they need to feel from you. There's a sense of like, also I didn't see the hair at the very beginning, but this emphasis of I'm scaring you away. I'm scared. Don't do it. Don't work with us constantly. Because there's also truth to that, because we don't want to work with kids unless they love us. But it's also for you to go, hey, how's it going? But otherwise, Rob, really good job. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, no, I've just been kind of trying to get used to doing it in here. Like my roommates going in and out. Like there was even one, man, it was a bad lead, so it didn't end up mattering. But like there's this, like the Venezuelan kid that did the bullshit with the baby powder. Like he'll still just bang on my door like mid-call. So then I have to like mute myself and like wait for it.
So let's do this. One other thing, Rob, is when we're working with students and everything is, what was I going to add? Oh, when, I want them to talk to you because I'm, if they like, and you're live, we're live right now and people are going, hey, Zev, why should we work with you? And I want them to talk to you because you're a student that's worked with me and you know what it's like. Yeah. So as you explain that to people and you're like, hey, I worked with you and this is what it's like. You want to explain to them how much work it is to work with us, but that if you do the work we tell you, then good things, of course, happen.
Okay.
So,
all right.
You've done really good. And if you have any other questions, let me know. The other thing is Quinn. Quinn is going to leave us pretty soon. I would probably say in a month or so. So you know how he has a document that kind of people have questions and we write down their questions so we can do a better job?
No.
Okay, I'll have Quinn show you. Anyways, like
is that the FAQ for fit calls?
Yeah. So you know how they asked some good questions? They were like, "What's the percentage?" and da 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 da. I just said some of the answers. So what the answers I said are the ones I want you to use. So just in that doc, text Quinn for it. So you can just say when the parent says how many students, when the parent says the success rate. That way you have the correct information.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Yeah. I think I have that. So I'll just edit it right now.
I got to run. Great job, Rob. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, no problem. Good seeing you. Take care.
Take care. What up, everybody? So when you call me, you will also speak to one of my coaches because we want you to make sure that you get to talk to somebody that's worked with me before, because you might think that I'm biased or something along those lines. And it's important that you get to hear from them. How many athletes do you take per year? How do you handle having more than one athlete the same year, same position? CWEIS Fish. Good question, CWISE Fish. So as you kind of heard there, we don't work with that many students. Each coach is assigned 1 to 3 kids. And if it's the same athlete and it's the same year and the same position, then we will only pick one. Now, if they are the same year and the same position and the same GPA, but one of them wants to play D3 and the other one wants to play D1, and we think that's possible, then we'll take both. But if they want the exact same thing, then we will only pick one. I was wondering if I get a free call. I've been scouted by D3 school, but I need more help. Dominic, yes, you can. Click the link in the bio, and we can schedule a free call. Can I play MLS Next? Let me see. What are thoughts on American? American's amazing. I play for ECNL RL. I'm a freshman. What division should I shoot for? Start with Division 3, but you could be able to work your way up potentially. If you're playing NPL 7th grade on a great team, would you suggest leaving for MLS Next? Greta, Compass, give me a call. I need to know more. I was wondering if you could. Okay, yes, I do free call. You pinned a comment. Thank you. Link in the bio. Thank you, Aries. Link in the bio. What are the traits as a left back? Crosses and 1v1 defending. I'm a freshman for junior college. Do I keep my confidence when I play? Let's see here. Is there a payment method or one-time payment? It varies per player and per family, so we customize it on the call. As a senior, is it too late to be recruited? No, but Division I is, yeah. Is it so? NCSA is not good. Not good. Do not use NCSA. Yes, call if you need help. Yeah, call me. Thank you, Aries. I love you, Aries. Is ECRL a good level and should I reach out? Yes. You should start with Division III, but it is very good. Is ECRL considered good level? What are some tips to get fit? I'm from Malaysia. Okay, good. I answered all your questions. Watch my video on Discord. Celine, I know you also submitted to me on Instagram. I'm going to make an Instagram post about it. But Celine, I can watch it really quickly. Highlight videos. I've got, I think, 5 minutes. All right, Celine, I'm watching your video. Okay, so Celine, you've been following me for a long time. There's no self-interview, so we know better. Good GPA. Good first touch. I like that pass. Good pass. Good tackle. Okay, good. Okay. So far, the very beginning of it, it's not a lot. It's mostly just quick kicks and just one-touch kicks. That's not going to work, really. So this is a little better. Good move. Good pass. Even though it was backwards, it was still good. Touch. Good cut. That's better. Good pass. That was better. That was better. So, Celine, the video, I don't love the arrow. It's not the worst thing. I'd prefer a circle. And you zoom in pretty good on a lot of clips, so that's pretty good. I like that, Celine. Good pass. You have a lot of one-touch moments. Let the play continue. Like, I need to see how the rest of the play goes so I can see that it was connected. And I'll be honest, from the clips I'm watching, it tells me very little about you. All I know is that you can sometimes pass to your teammate. This clip is better. 111. 111 is good. That tells me a lot more. But I don't know. You cut the clip, so I don't know what happens next. So look, if you send this video to a coach, they're just going to say they need to see you at camp, and they're going to tell you got to aim for Division III. Doesn't mean you couldn't play higher, but from what I'm watching right now, we need a lot more moments of seeing the rest of the play, and there's a lot of one-touch kicks. One-touch kicks in a highlight video is not what we want, especially if the ball is given away. So I would even shorten the video to be only a minute long and just show the moments where we get to dribble and pass. Then as you get more clips, I would add more clips as you go on. But there's too many just big kicks. Like at 154, you just kick it in the air. You can't be having that. We got to complete passes like on every single one. So it's good, Celine, but give me a call. We got to fix it. You're going to have to fix it. Okay, we have one more call, everyone, in about 4 minutes. I really needed a drink of water, and I still did not get that. Good D1, D2 schools in Ohio. Here, you want to see something cool, guys? Watch this. This is for Ticker Talk. If you're on my TikTok, and I think I can show you on my Instagram also, but I'm going to do my TikTok first. So if you go to this website, which you can only do actually if you work with me, I'm sorry, and you go, what do you say, Ohio? Here's every single school by state. Ohio. Thank you. Ohio. So here's every single school in Ohio, and with the certain majors. Now, you want to see another cool feature? In the same website, if you click on this little robot, you can ask it, when is the ID camp of Vassar or any other school? And it will tell you when the ID camp is. It's an AI, and it's memorized emails and documents. It can tell you if an email is robotic or genuine. It can tell you how to respond. Like this kid said, should I play MLS Next or ECNL? And it clones one of my videos and gives you the answer I would give you. It also says you have to double check with your coach because, your coach is important. But you can ask it any single ID camp and say, when is the ID camp for UCLA or Stanford or whatever? And it will know the answer, which is pretty freaking cool, right? Isn't that freaking badass? You could literally get recruited just with my email system and this AI that can tell you the answers to all your emails. Isn't that amazing? Just amazing. I'm the only one using AI in the recruiting process. And then you also get a coach to make sure that, because the AI is not perfect, but we need to make sure it's perfect. Is NCSA the right path? Hell no. Hell no. Do not use NCSA. What should you start doing for a 13 ECNL player, one of the top teams in North Carolina? Call me. User, please call me. Call me. That is what I would tell you to do. Call me. Instagram. Did I lose my Instagram? No, it's right here. Instagram. Do you have any questions? 13. Hello, Urana Balestros. Hello, Lakeland. Let's see. Did I miss any of your questions? No. Can I start looking for college as sophomore? Please do. Absolutely. Our club uses sports recruits. Are you familiar with? Of course I know sports recruits. We do not like sports recruits. It's okay if you use them because it's by your club, but college coaches do not like any of them. Even if you get emails from sports recruits from the college coaches, you got to use your own email account. You got to use your own YouTube. It's what they want. Just ask the college coaches. Don't ask me. Ask the college coach. Mike Avery was my coach, William Alfoot. I love Mike Avery. Should reel be professionally done or done by an athlete? Professional. If the athlete can do it professional, then that's okay too, of course. Where's EA ranked? Tier 3 or Tier 4. So aim for Division 2 or Division 3. You show a program that looks like it's 8 positional needs for colleges, certain graduates. Is that part of software? Come on. You show a program that looks like it's 8 positional needs for colleges and certain graduates. Is that part of software? Is that coming out? Lakeland, yes. It is part of our software that we're working on. We don't go too into detail in regards to what positions are needed per grad year, because if your kid is better than what they have and we tell you that they're not looking for your position, you may not want to email them. And we don't want you to do that. So what we are more importantly doing is telling you how many maybe are seniors, but we still want you to email them anyways, even if you don't. That's important to us. Did you play for Mike Avery at Valpo? Yes, I did. Who are you? How do you know Mike Avery? Not NCSA. Go ask college coaches. You will see. Go ask anybody that's used NCSA. Ask anybody on this page. NCSA does not work. What college coaches are good in New York for soccer? For soccer, Hofstra, NYU. The question is, what teams are you thinking about? What should be my next step if I'm a 6'1", 108-foot center back freshman for ECRL? Noyan, call me. Dominic, you need my help. Call me. Can I play MLS Next this spring if I'm 2006 but am in college but not playing for college team? Can I play MLS Next this spring if I'm 2006 but am in college but not playing for college team? If you get permission from your college, Camille, it is possible, yes. Okay, got to get on a call. This is the last call of the day.
Recording in progress.
NPL boys aim for Division 3, but it's a good level. I am in 11th grade. I'm injured first season. I play. Can I get recruited? I'm injured first season. Can I play? Let's see here. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
All
Can you
right.
hear us?
I can hear you just fine. The gentleman here listening to me or listening with us is named Nalu. He is my former student who's now playing Division I college soccer. And his job is to scare you away, along with myself, from hopefully wanting to play college soccer. So that way your mom and dad can just chill and relax and have to save their car the arduous miles that it will take otherwise, that it already has taken. Now, there's probably a good chance I won't be able to scare you away, but I'm going to try. Does that sound like a deal?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is I want to figure out if we're the right fit. I'm not able to help everybody one-on-one as I would like to, because we work with a limited number of students. So that's step number 1. And I want you to then also interview me and Nalu and say, what's it like working for Zev? Is it a lot of work? Should we actually be scared? Is he any good? And figure out if we're the right people to help you through this process. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the other piece of it is to scare you away. So just to begin with, could I ask who found me first?
Just kind of online, and we've heard your name bounced around a bit through friends of friends. I don't think anybody's worked with you, but we kept kind of seeing your name pop up, and we watched the videos, and that kind of sounds exactly what we're looking for. Kind of helping him figure, emailing and staying on track.
Cool. Okay. And there was kind of a longer video that I tried to make you guys watch in my first step of scaring you away. Did you guys get a chance to see that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So with that in mind, did you guys find me? Do you remember if you found me on Instagram?
Yeah.
Cool.
Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome. That's what I have here. So I just want to confirm a couple things about your son real quick. Could I just confirm your grad year?
2027.
Perfect. That's what I have. And your GPA?
4.0 or which?
Yeah. Weighted 4.0.
Cool. That's what I have. Awesome. And right now, I do know you're in 10th grade now, correct?
Yeah.
There are some limits to this, but have you had any conversations with any Division III schools via text?
No.
Have any of them scheduled? Oh, go ahead.
He went to a couple of he did like a soccer masters camp, and got a couple of ID camp invites, which he didn't really follow up on because it was last year. And that was it. But he really hasn't done any contacting coaches.
Okay. He's a fresh plate. I like that. Non-cooked chicken. I can do that's much better typically for me than uncooking.
He did that chicken. And he didn't respond to those and has done nothing so far.
Okay, cool. And okay, so nobody's mentioned coming to a visit in the fall or anything like that.
I mean, I think he got some form emails, right? From some Division III coaches.
Did they feel genuine?
Through that or from, I don't know.
Okay. Did they feel genuine, do you think, Holden, or you're not sure?
Not really. They just felt like general invites to the camp.
Okay, cool. So we're going to say there's none as of yet. Now, if we were to then ask you, Holden, what do you think you need the most help with? What do you think that is?
Probably like emailing and just getting out there, keeping up with that.
And from your mom's perspective, what do you think he needs the most help with?
Yeah, the same thing, doing video film and just kind of the whole process of contacting coaches and getting his stuff out there so they can see it.
Cool. And I'm very familiar with your club. I know the director of your club really well. I'm from SoCal. Nalu played for Real SoCal or LAFC SoCal. And so we're familiar with like your director of coaching and everybody else. Right now, why do you want to play college soccer, Holden? There's a lot of work. You have great grades. Why not just be a student? Why do you want to play college soccer?
I mean, I don't know. I really like playing soccer, and I don't know. I just want to continue playing as long as I can.
Cool. From your mom's perspective, why would you like to see your son play college soccer?
I mean, kind of the same thing. He kind of eats, breathes, sleeps soccer. I think he'd probably enjoy continuing to play it. I know schools have club teams too. So from my perspective, I'd like him to go to the best academic school he can go to and play soccer there as well. If it works out that way.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the difference between the club soccer and like the college team?
A little bit. During that soccer masters camp, they kind of go through it. So that was kind of our understanding of it.
Briefly,
not really.
Club soccer starts a little bit later for one. Like you don't go in the summertime and do preseason. It's like 2 to 3 times a week, and you will play like one game, and it's pretty much over in like 6 to 7 weeks. So it's still soccer for sure. Like the Division I schools you put on your list have good club teams, but it's very different to then being on a team, which is like being part of a fraternity that you have to be good at to be a part of. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I ask you, Holden, like of the two, or would you say you're indifferent? Like whichever, as long as I get to play soccer, I don't care. Or you're like, no, I really want to be part of a college soccer team.
I'd rather be part of a team. I want to play at a high level. It's challenging for me, and I think it'd be cool.
Cool. And we don't have to decide it today, but it's important for us to know as we think about the students we work with, because for club soccer wise, you don't really need our help. But when it comes to college soccer, there's a lot of things that need to be done. And even club soccer, there are some things for the top schools. So then my next point would be, if I were to kind of give you guys a diagnosis on where I think you stand right now, would you mind if I was your doctor for a minute?
Sure, go ahead.
The main thing that I want to say is when we look at somebody's video, particularly at his age, we go, is he good enough for the colleges that are on his list? And you mentioned he's got great grades, so he wants to go to the likes of, some of the best schools, Princeton, Cornell, Chicago, Johns Hopkins, UPenn. Is he that level? And can we help you with that? And what do college coaches think of him? Those are two different things. Does that make, because I watched your whole 7-minute video. But college coaches, I can guarantee you, will not do that at least the first time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the initial thing is this. If you want to go to those schools, and to give you an idea, we have a student that committed to Duke. He committed to Duke as a sophomore. What grade are you in?
Sophomore.
So in 6 months from now, he was committed. If you want to go to the schools you're talking about, you have to be in that world. Does that make sense? Now, there's other great academic schools. I know you just listed some of them, like Chicago, for example, is Division III, but they're the best, like the best. So they won the NCAA tournament 2 years ago, and they are on track to win it again this year. So they're very good. So it is to say, when you tell me you haven't, even though you went to Masters and some of them said, come to my camp, which we can explore a little bit further, because that is a good starting point, right? You did get to meet them. We want to be like, where are we with them? So the student we committed to Duke, he was on phone calls with like Division III schools constantly at your age. And on June 15th, it was a bombardment of calls. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, the next question is, do we think you're the level? Now, I've seen your video. I know your club. The answer is yes. I think you can play Division I soccer. Now, just because I'm one opinion, you'll get other people's opinions. They may not agree with me. And my job is to look at it from a broader perspective and go, if most coaches saw you, what would most of them think about you? Not the one unique person who might think you're D1 and the rest of them think you're D3. Does that make sense? So I'm saying on a broad scale, I think that is in the cards. I will also say, because your mom mentioned this, we want you to agree with us that academics come first. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
So even though academics come first, which we're on the same page about, if your son hates his coach, he will be miserable. Let's assume that he wants to play college soccer. Have you ever had a bad coach in your life?
Do we currently have one?
Yeah. I know who your coach, I know of your coach, I should say. And so I know it's difficult. And so the goal is we want to maybe help you if we have to talk about teams and that nature of it, then we have to talk about the club aspect as well. But when you get to college, we want to make sure you love your coach. And if that means you maybe don't choose, you mentioned, say, Penn, but instead you want to go to Colgate, which is very good school, maybe not the same, but you're happier. We want you to be happy. That's all we care about. Does that make sense?
Agreed.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Awesome. So with that in mind, basically what I want to do is I propose to you, basically you have a problem. You're not talking to enough schools soon enough, in my aggressive opinion. So what I want to do is I want to show you what I would like you to do, even if you don't work with me. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And this is what we did with Nalu, and Nalu can chime in here in a minute and just talk about whether, like, going back to scaring you away, because we can't do it for you, right? You have to go play soccer, but we can put you in the best place we can. So, and you guys kind of saw this in the video. First thing is your video. So your video is way too long. We got to split this up into 3 different videos. Otherwise, no one's going to watch it and it's a waste of time. You don't have enough video. This is the only video you have. We need no more highlight videos for a year. We need every touch videos often. Now, the other thing is, as the position you play, and Nalu's played as a center back at the D1 level, he will tell you your technique and your athletic ability are attributes that we quite like. On the flip side of it, from a Division I perspective, explicitly, this moment here, see how you completed the pass and you won it? We need a lot of those moments all the time. We can't, like, if you kicked it away, because I've seen the other clips, I would have told you it's still possible, but I would have said, don't do that ever again. And I know you're being coached like to do that as well. The other thing is like blocks like this. These can't be in the first minute of your highlight video. I don't learn anything about you in that clip. Does that make sense? That is the bare minimum. I expect you to be able to kick the ball. Okay. So, and I mean that kindly. I'm being a little mean at the minute, but the first thing is video. Got to fix the video. Second thing is, and I think we showed you this already, but we want to email all the Division I schools, which is aggressive. And there's some of those D1 schools you're never going to go to, like IUPUI or Wilmington. But if you want to go to Chicago, you need to get the interest of D1 schools. Does that make sense? Because Chicago is a D1 program. They are not a Division III program. They are every kid at that school could go D1, but they got into Chicago. So we have 2 kids at University of Chicago right now. They were both being recruited to Division I schools. So for your perspective, we would click Division I, we would click top academic if we so want to. And then what we would do, sorry, this is for division. This is on my account, so we'll make a new one for you. But we want top academic first for Division III in the immediate future and go, hey, and this will be connected to your account. So you'll get your own list of schools. This is just an example. And some of these schools you will never go to. But same with Division III, if Bowdoin, Middlebury, all the NESCACs are talking to you, then Chicago will pay attention if they're not responding. Does that make sense? And they will not respond at some point, even if they like you. That's just how it goes. For Chicago especially, you have to go to their camp. So we have to coach you through that because we don't want you to go cold. And then also they only have 2 camps, but for you, like they have one summer and that's it. They don't do camps otherwise. So we need a lot more schools to get interested in. So we're also going to email the Division I's and go, hey, all the Division I's need to know who you are. And the beauty is if you press select all, you click write email, you click dear hashtag coach's name, hashtag genuine. It will automatically populate something genuine with your help. We're going to ask you some questions so we can help you do that. And then it will automatically put the coach's name. So dear coach, I enjoyed watching your team last year. And it will do that for every school.
Okay.
And then you're going to get a lot of responses. So then once you start getting responses, you got to organize it. So then you got to click this. Was it genuine? Was it mass email? Was it generic? When did they invite you? Was it a genuine email? Was it a generic one? And then the technology will automatically convert it to your genuine section. And it will tell you when you got invited and when it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then this little robot, if you click this and you say, when is the Chicago camp, it will tell you the answer. It's an AI. It just has memorized every website of every school and it will give you the answer. Does that make sense? So there's no more wondering when the camps are. And also, if you were to copy and paste a generic email that you're not sure about, the system has over literally 500,000 emails that I've received since I've done this, including directly from Chicago. It will tell you that's a robot email. Here's how you should respond. And our coaches will help you with that too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's coming back to this. We got to use this system. We have to pick the camps for you. You talked about masters. There's some, as you already felt, not that influential sometimes. So we got to decide if it's worth it and what other camps to go to. Then we got to narrow down the list. So I'm going to have you send a list to a lot of Division IIIs, more than you would do otherwise. Then we're going to narrow that down to like 30, and that's it. We'll email those 30 and no more. Then Division I, we'll have to keep it a little bit big until June 15th, a little bit after June 15th. Then we'll shrink that list to like 20 schools. And then we'll say to them, hey, University of Wilmington responded to me, but I haven't heard from you, Penn State or University of Penn. And that's kind of how we have to go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we talked about this already, but look, I'm trying to scare you away right now. If your son would just not love soccer, we could just worry about school, but he happens to love soccer. So that means, unfortunately, even if he loves his academics, if he doesn't like the coach, he's going to be miserable. So really the reason we're doing this, as much as it is competitive and you got to get started early and all that good stuff, the real thing is we need time to decide. If June 15th he gets an offer from, let's say, his dream school, but he doesn't like the coach, that offer will disappear in 2 weeks. So we need to be ready to like say yes or no, and we need to know what he likes and what he doesn't like. So that's really what we're doing. And side note, because you guys are obviously and are appealed to the academic side, he's going to get what are called pre-reads. Do you know what a pre-read is? Okay, so what's really special, so let's say, back up for a second, let's say your son did not want to play soccer and you wanted to go to these Ivy League level schools. It would be really difficult because they're very competitive. The beauty of playing a soccer is they can actually do a pre-read, which is where they're going to take his current transcripts and tell you if he's on track to get into the school, which you could never do as a normal athlete, which doesn't really make any sense because it's an academic institution. You'd think they'd prioritize academics, but they don't. They prioritize athletes.
And this is for D3.
This is for everybody.
Oh, for everybody. Okay.
The Ivy Leagues too. They will take your pre-read and go, hey, and the reason they do it selfishly is they're like, look, if I like you as a player, but if the school tells me you're not even close to getting in, then I won't recruit you.
Okay. I mean, for now, he seems to have all the academics and is in all the AP honors classes and stuff.
Now, you guys know this too, which is to say for top academics, absolutely. But we also know people with 3.2 GPAs who get into Stanford, and that's because they wrote a good essay and they did an extracurricular. And there are kids starting in 6th grade who are studying rocket science to go to Ivy League schools. So
I have a daughter applying to college right now, so I get it.
Oh, yeah. You get it better than at most. So the point I'm saying is right now I've been talking about quitting soccer so that way your son could just focus on school. Now I'm telling you, there's a very likely chance that soccer could be the reason he gets to go to Chicago or to another school like it. And that's because he's a good soccer player. And we want to leverage it. So we have we'll talk about it, but our niche is top academic Division III and Division I schools. So we have kids at Penn, at Chicago. And the beauty is they've been told explicitly, like, yes, you have the grades to get in, but so does every other kid that's applied to our school, but you're playing soccer. So now you're in the school. So in saying that, I want to ask your son the job of scaring you away. As I go through these steps with you, do you see, I'll pause actually and say, is this the type of help you think you're ready for?
Yeah.
And from your mom's perspective, does it make sense the steps we want to take? And do you think your son would benefit from that?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So here's kind of what it will look like on a day-to-day, just so you can get an idea. And this is my final attempt to scare you away. And we'll talk about the price too, because I know that's on the mind, is when we're working with students, your son is going to get a coach plus me. So he's going to work with a coach that has been to the top academics, recruited by the top academics, and played at the top academics, and me. The reason you need both of us is when I first started, obviously it was just me, and I could never do as much as the student needed. So for example, I need to create your son's list. I need to write his emails. I need to look up every single ID camp. The AI doesn't do it by itself. I have to go and make it learn those things. And then I need to make sure that if there's a new camp that comes out, or as you know, did you guys hear about this new NCAA rule?
No.
Okay, good for me to be there. So I go to conferences like every month. I go to the conferences of academia to see what athletes need to do to get into top schools. And there's a new rule that the NCAA for Division I schools have limited their rosters to 28 kids. It used to be technically no rule, unlimited amount. And the coaches would have a roster of 28 to 36. And the reason is, in order for the schools to afford playing soccer, they need some of the kids to pay tuition because soccer doesn't make any money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So now that is not the rule anymore. It is 28 kids, hard stop. So there are some schools, including Princeton, who have 32 kids. They're going to graduate 4. They're going to have to cut 3. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yeah.
Now, luckily, given your son's grad year, it's going to screw up all of my 25s. It's screwing them up right now because nobody could predict this. And I can tell you some of them will have to take gap years. And then it will screw up our 26s because the transfers who are going to be ending up in the portal will be going to them as 26s.
Got it. So he'll be fine.
So he'll be fine. However, the other good news is there's unlimited scholarship now. So before it was 9.9 athletic scholarships. Now they've said you could give as much money as you want. And so for my 25s and 26s, the schools have not raised the money to give the scholarships. But by the time your son is their age, they may have raised enough money to give 12 scholarships or 15 for some schools.
Okay, great.
Cool. So you're going to get this coach and me. You're going to message us on Discord. Have you heard of Discord before?
Yeah.
Okay. Everything has to go on Discord. And the reason for that is we're going to go through so many messages between now and the time your finish college because we'll be with you forever. And if we do it through email, it gets lost. We tried it. It doesn't work. We got to have it in one place. And it's nice that it's separate. So we'll have Discord for that. Then the next thing is we're going to edit all your videos. So for example, you're going to give me this video and I'm going to just fix it for you. You do need a self-interview. So we got to fix this page and all that good stuff. Like this should be a self-interview. This needs to have your GPA right away. That's something super important for you. So I am going to fix this. And it's like I said, it's way too long. You're also going to send me more video and you're going to some pretty big tournaments in the next 2 or 3 years, surfs of the world, ECNLs of the world. We need that on video. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And we need to make them into videos, highlight videos, and we need to put them on Instagram and we have to put it on Twitter and we need to send it out to coaches and we need to tag them.
Okay. And they don't take his club is not, there's no video going on. So we have to figure out a way to get our own video.
That's insane. Really?
Yeah. His team is not his. Yeah.
That's insane. So iPhone does work, but we are going to need bird's eye footage. That is important.
Okay.
So we can talk about it. We're sponsored by Trace. So I am biased towards Trace and we can get you guys a discount if we need to do that. Because Trace is the best because it just makes the clips for you automatically and then we just take them. But you know, if we have to use VO or we have to talk to 5 families, got to have that video.
Okay.
And then the last thing is when you're working with us, you're going to get the Google Drive. So just to show you really quickly, this is a student who is committed now, and we're going to do the same thing with your son. We started with him as a sophomore, and basically whenever we meet with your son, Mom, you're welcome to be in every meeting, but your son has to drive this process. So on this day, we were texting with Brown and calling UCSB and had a call with Colgate, and we need to tell him what to do. So imagine I'm your son's dating service and he wants to get married to his love of his dreams. I'm going to tell him what to say, how to say it, when he should text, how he follows up. I'm his dating coach per se.
Great.
Great. Exactly. But specifically, obviously for college soccer. And then, part of that is playing cool sometimes and not responding and showing interest in another school. It's the same thing. It's just like the love triangles that exist. And
is it paired with one coach, like one specific one, or is it different people each time?
No, definitely not different people. I've been there in the club soccer world with different coaches. We will never do that to you. You will get one coach plus me. So you'll see me in there texting him and sharing videos and giving you updates with new rules. By the time he graduates, the NCAA will change some rule. It's inevitable. It's just how they do things. And so to work with us is $5, and we're a lifetime deal. So we're with you forever. If God forbid he wants to transfer. One of the things that's, key in your guys' component, I'll show you this. Actually, I'll show you this right now. So if in 3 months from now, he is not being genuinely recruited by the likes of Chicago and the NESCACs and top academic D3s, then you will fire us. I will fire myself. Because if in 3 months I can't get him to work, then I'm not going to ever get him to work, and then you shouldn't have to work with us.
Okay.
That does not count the D1s because of the rules, but I'll be the first to tell you that we are going to email them, and it is very possible that they will respond illegally, and we will try and make that happen. Even though, we're not going to do anything illegal, but we need to make sure that they do know who he is and they're getting video.
And does he have like video meetings with the coach?
Absolutely. So one thing we're going to do also is we're going to actually review game footage. So he's going to send us a full game and we're going to say, in this moment, you should not have I'll show you. I made a cut of it earlier to show you guys.
And high school games as well, correct?
High school games are good. They're not as good as club, but we do want them.
Okay.
But like in this moment, he obviously does a really good job sealing it, obvious. And then he drives into his space really well. We want him to cut in front of him, which he kind of already did, which is great. And then in this moment, he's completed, a misplaced pass, obviously. And then he does win it again, vaguely, but we need to coach him through that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And are you, sorry.
No, please.
Are you knowledgeable about the clubs in Los Angeles, the different clubs?
Yes. So Nalu's nodding his head. Nalu played, I'm from SoCal. I actually am partnered with Surf. So I know about Surf. and the organizations. So the answer is yes. And we will have to, what it sounds like between your coach situation. So going back to here, one of the things is the club soccer part. So if we need to talk about leaving, then we need to navigate that with you.
Okay.
And just to butt in here, Zev knows so much. And like, for instance, when I was going through the whole process, I was similar to you guys. I was trying to figure out what the club's the best for exposure and what club's the best for me. And he helped me through that whole process. And so it's like, I sympathize with you because I've been to so many different clubs and clubs that weren't right for me. And he helped me get into the club that eventually led me into getting a Division I offer at UC Santa Barbara.
Okay, great. That would be, I think, helpful for this situation.
Nalu,
as
you're
well.
supposed to scare them away, not.
Sorry.
I know. Well, the scaring away is really the stuff that it takes to get there, but our job is to make it a little bit more easier.
Understood. Thank you.
And so, and with Nalu's case, I'm 5'6". So for me, I was just told no all over again. Nalu had some injuries, which is inevitable for everybody at some point. And so we have to navigate it. And so you brought up a good point. So we're with you for life. If your son maintains his GPA, which in our contract, it basically says if it drops below a point that you as parents deem, we have a 3.5 minimum. But if you yourself say it's whatever, 4.1 or 3.9, then we won't work with you anymore. So as long as they maintain above basically a 3.8, we can pretty much guarantee that they're going to get a minimum of $80,000 to $100,000.
Is it weighted or unweighted?
It is weighted.
Okay.
Yeah. And the last thing is, and this is what I just want to briefly show you. This is every single student we've committed, like this is last year. And all the red ones are the top academic. And those are kind of the ones that like University of Chicago, all the NESCAC schools, those are the ones for Carnegie Mellon. Those are the ones that we're kind of focusing on the most, because traditionally what's different about us versus like the other NCSAs of the world is I prioritize academics first. So naturally I attract families that agree with that.
Yes, definitely agree.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
I mean, this is super helpful. I want to talk to him about it, but like, how do you go about like next steps? I know.
Yes, good question. So you're not allowed to work with us today, even if you wanted to. We want you to think about it. The only thing is this, though. We don't work with very many students. And so we're going to prioritize, one, the students that want to work with us and also the students we want to work with. So we have to have an answer by tonight or latest tomorrow, so 24 hours. If in 24 hours you have a question, like, hey, we would like to know this or that, you can email me. I'm going to be the one. You'll see my email here in a minute. And then you'll see the contract. The contract in the email basically says, if you don't get me video in 3 months, like some form of video, then we'll fire you. If you grades drop, we'll fire you. If you don't show up to the meetings with your coach and me, we'll fire you. And then if you're not, you'll fire them. Great. And if in 3 months from now, you're not being genuinely recruited by a top academic D3 school for the time being, then you'll fire us or I'll fire myself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have one last question. We don't work with very many students. So I want to ask your son, why do you think you're a good fit to work with us?
Well, like, because as you said, academics are the top priority. And for me, that's also true. I very prioritize academics. Yeah.
And what about you, if you were to pretend I'm a college coach and I say to you, why do you think you're a good fit for our team? I'm saying the same thing in this mini scenario, and we'll coach you through that question because they will ask you that. Why do you think you're a good fit to work with me? What about you? Are you a hard worker? Are you going to listen to us? How do I know I can trust you to get the job done when we give you the work?
Yeah, I'm a hard worker. I'll do the work on and off the field. So academic wise, on the field, practicing off the field, and I'm willing to learn and take constructive criticism.
Awesome. Super helpful. And from your mom's perspective, why do you think your son's a good candidate to work with us?
I mean, I think he's a dedicated soccer player, hard worker. Kind of when he has that direction, he's really good at following through and getting what he needs to get done.
Awesome. So I sent over the email to you guys. I just asked that we let you kind of know. We'll follow up with you because we're invested now and we care. But if you ghost us per se, then we won't be able to work with you any longer.
So you just respond to that email, because I was having a little problem with your emails. Like we got like 100 of
I
them.
know. I'm sorry. I'm fixing that.
Oh.
Yeah. So this email you'll see is from me. In it is here, I'll just show it to you. Is it?
Okay, so I can
Yeah.
respond to Zev at CollegeSoccerGuy.com.
Yeah. I'm sorry you got so
Okay.
many. The main reason is typically we're happy to have you on the call, Mom. We get a lot of children who are
Yeah.
acting like children. But I'll fix it because you shouldn't have to deal with that.
I think both of us probably got like 30 emails this week from
Okay.
you confirming the
All right.
meeting.
I will
Just
fix
so
that.
you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
And then one of them just got bounced back actually already. So let's see. Is this spelled? Maybe this is the wrong one.
Oh, it's LSCHER 100.
Oh, thank you. So I'll forward this to you. And then
Oh, LSCHER.
Thank you.
You forgot the S.
Thank you. Is in this
There you go.
email that you'll see is this link right here. And this is the contract. So you click the contract, it'll ask you some questions, explain. We have to
Okay.
create his custom drive and give him a list of schools.
Yeah.
And then right after
Okay.
that, you'll submit your first payment. If after the first, I should have said this. So you'll submit the first payment. It's split into 3 payments. If after the first meeting, you're like, we don't like you, then fine. We'll refund it. Then we'll go our separate ways. If after the first month, you say this was great, but we don't want any more help, then we can also still go our separate ways if you want. Once we hit the 3 months though, then we're in it for life.
Got it. Okay. And can I ask how many students do you typically work with?
Yeah, no, good question. So typically we work with about 30 students at a time. His coach will be with 3 other kids, 3 to 4.
Okay. And are they mostly in California?
Definitely
Or
not.
that you do
I would
work?
say the majority
Okay.
of them are on the East Coast. They're
Okay.
not in the same position as your son or the same accolades. If we have like the same exact kid, center back,
Yeah.
GPA, same exact schools, then we'll only work with one of them. If we have
Okay.
another center back who is your grad year, but he's not going to go to the top academics, he's a 3.5, very different scenario. But in that regard, we don't work with that many players, mainly because I need to deal with you and so does the coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Awesome, guys. I'll talk to you very soon.
All right. Thank you. Nice
Thank
to meet you.
Dun, dun, dun. Mr. Nalu Mac, I'm live right now, Mr. Nalu. Anything that you want to bring up, or thanks for listening. I appreciate it.
No, I thought he's a pretty good kid. I think he has especially for D3s, given kind of his family's background and also him prioritizing academics. I think he's good enough to play there. It's just trying him out to see, hey, can we get him on either a better club team or just get him more exposure. But he seems like a perfect candidate for D3s. He could, depending on how he develops, D1s, but I'd say like at the moment, probably D3s, especially. Also, like he seems like a kid who's like, hey, I want to make sure above all, I want to play soccer, but like I want to value my academics. So that's kind of the main reason why I
think like to your point, the Division III schools he'll love more than he knows probably right now.
Yeah.
And if he gets interest from the D1s and they want to, and he can get it on his own, or he can get in with less help, or maybe the D1s really like him. You know how subjective soccer is. The other thing now, I just want to say thank you real quick. Because of you, this was a throwback for me. Do you remember? I don't think you probably do, but I remember I'm live now, so I don't care if they hear it. So everyone who's listening, Nalu is one of my very, very, very first students, long time ago now. And then when I started to help other students, he started to help me help other students because I can only help so many students. And I was sitting in the Pepperdine parking lot and I was coaching you on how to do a very first call. Like you wouldn't have known I was at Pepperdine, but that's where I happened to be. And I just remember being on the call with you going, no, this is how you do the first call with a student to see if they're a good fit. And now half of our team now are because of you.
Well, I know Caden. Well, I brought on 5 other coaches.
And here's an argument to say 5+ because of Caden, you've brought on more. You've gotten exponential.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I think they like it. I think Olivia, Jacqueline, and Maddie are like, they love the whole, like, they really eat up the whole social media thing. So
yeah, they've been eating
I think that's good. And they're also younger. So like, if they want to do it as like a side thing throughout their college, they're pretty good. And I think Caden like is someone who's like that. They kind of love the whole social media thing. They love all that sort of stuff. So yeah, no, I think they're like a great fit because they're young. They want to,
Yeah.
the whole soccer thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it is pretty crazy, and especially like how fast it's grown over the past, year or so. I still joke with everyone. I'm like, they're like, oh man, I have like 10, like, 3 or 4 kids or like that. I was like, you're moving way faster than I did. I was, watching for a lot longer.
A lot longer. I know. I throw a couple like right away because they're good. They've been shadowing, or some of them have been watching my content and they've like you knew me because of me. Some of them already know me. So
right.
That
but also
cool.
I think they just have like more information, and like we've also dealt with more situations. So like if stuff comes up, we're more equipped to it now than maybe back then, just because the more you do it, the more you get better. So you're like, oh, I've seen that situation before. You just do this. So
How are you feeling physically? You feeling okay?
Good. No, I've been battling just in like knocks and like a last game I went to, like there's a bad challenge, and so I've been sidelined. The boys are actually in Utah at the moment. I'm back home. But no, doing well. Just trying to make the most out of it and really enjoying every like aspect of it, because it's like for everyone out there who's also listening, it's like college soccer eventually ends. So just to enjoy all the ups and downs of it, because it is it's a like, unique experience. And I love how you say it's like a fraternity. It's not only fraternity like with your team, but also like I feel like athletics in general, just the whole every single team, guys and girls, it is like a whole fraternity and sorority all mixed in one.
Yeah. Very well said. Well, if you have any questions, I know Morgan's got her thing. Look, we've done our part. I know she's frustrated, and if she's frustrated, she's frustrated. And if I'll take the brunt of that because she started with me like a long time ago. But if you just say, look, we're doing it, you see the work we do, we have had genuine interest over our course of period. You go, look, this is the reality. The new rules, you can also blame the rule, which is very true. We're going to have to focus on these levels. And if you don't want to, then you won't play college soccer. And you can say it similar to that. And if they want to get angry, we'll deal with it.
Yeah, no, I think just trying to touch base of like what is the best way forward is really the next step. But yeah, no, she's scheduled for Sunday. So I'll talk to her then and then just go from there and see if we can kind of help her in the right direction.
Cool. If you need anything else now, let me know. Very happy. Quinn has been amazing. I forgot Quinn. You brought Quinn on too. And yeah, so thank you very much. And we'll talk very soon.
Yeah, we'll talk soon and I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Okay, everybody. Aries, you came back. What a legend. I know some of you have questions and you've been sharing and liking. I think I have the coolest live on TikTok and Instagram. If you guys have more questions, please let me know. I think we're pretty good here. I think most of you have disappeared, which is fair. We've been alive for a while now. I am thirsty and I am hungry. And I've been working all day, and it's time for a break. So if you want more help, I will be live again, per usual, because I want to help as many of you as I can. We have, actually, you guys want to see the schedule for tomorrow? I can show you on TikTok. On Instagram, I can also show you the schedule, actually, if you're on my Instagram. Okay, so if you're on my Instagram, you should be able to see this right now. So this is, okay, so this is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday is, tomorrow we have calls with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. Then 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. So we are busy and we're not going to take everybody because I cannot work with that many people. So yeah, if you guys want help, give me a call. I have availability tomorrow and Friday still. I'm fully booked next Tuesday, it looks like, but I have some other stuff too. If you want more help, give me a call. I see there's 20 of you here on TikTok. Can I answer any of your questions right now? No? Okay.